Greetings one and all, and welcome to Combat Critiques. In this installment, let's have a look at the fight between Thane and Leng from Mass Effect 3. As usual, let's start off with assessing both sides' objectives. Thane and Shepard's team, even though they don't do anything here for some reason, are trying to save the Salarian Counselor, who has vital information regarding the Cerberus attack on the Citadel. Leng is tasked with assassinating the Turian, Salarian, and Asari counselors so that Udina can pull off a coup, and by extension ensure Cerberus's takeover of the Citadel. I question how feasible that would be in the long run, but it is what it is. Anyway, let's get on to the fight itself.
Looks like they got the Executor, and 2 Salarian bodyguards.
Damn, alright, keep searching. If you don't see the Counselor's body, don't count him out yet.
Found him. He looks unharmed.
Get him somewhere safe.
Don't even think about it.
Shepard, he's going to kill us all.
That remains to be seen.
I mean, Udina, he's staging a coup. He's got the other counselors now to hand over to Cerberus.
3-on-1, pal. It's over.
No, it's fun.
So Shepard, and whichever 2 squad mates that the player chooses to bring with them on this mission, are confronted by Leng, who holds the Salarian Counselor at gunpoint. Or gauntlet point, I guess. Firstly, why did the Salarian Counselor reveal himself? He was cloaked, and until he deactivated it, nobody knew where he was. This includes both Shepard and Leng. It wasn't because he saw Shepard, as he didn't signal to him or even look in his direction. In fact, Shepard and his squad had just passed through this room a moment ago, and the Counselor didn't contact them. So why show yourself now? More than this though, Shepard's team outnumbers Leng 3-1. There's no angle that he can position himself where he can't be attacked by at least one member of their team. I'm not even sure why he's holding this position, seeing as his objective is to kill the counselors, and he demonstrates mobility enough to avoid taking hits. Not to mention his anti-everything shield that he pulls out of nowhere later in this mission, but that's beside the point. But Thane appears and points his pistol at Leng's head. Thane, you had the advantage of range with your weapon. Why would you put yourself in melee distance? You had the advantage of surprise, too.
But why? Why would you do that? Why would you do any of that?
This lets Leng slap the weapon aside and engage in melee. Thane throws 2 punches, but Leng parries both of them before delivering a punch of his own to Thane's face. Now, for those either not aware, or who haven't played the games in a while, Thane is terminally ill at this point in his life. He suffers from a disease that affects his blood's ability to deliver oxygen to his cells. This weakens him and causes him to become tired very quickly, and it will ultimately kill him. Despite this, he puts up a good showing for someone who should have died months ago. The pair exchange more jabs, while Shepard motions for his squad to get the counselor back. Now, even if Shepard had both squad mates on this task, that would still leave Leng outnumbered 2-1. Shepard, depending on how the player customized him or her, has no shortage of abilities that could help here. Tech abilities, biotic attacks, and even standard gunfire would all help put Leng down. But Shepard does nothing here. Keep in mind that a female Shepard could even have romanced Thane in the previous game, and is just standing here letting him fight alone. Kai Leng flips Thane, which is actually pretty on point with how you would flip someone in real life. Notice how Leng forces Thane's shoulders downward while locking his hip in place. That forces the opponent's body to flip over. The head, shoulders, hips, and feet are all points of balance for the human, and by extension, other humanoid, bodies. Shift any of those out of position too far, and they'll either stumble or fall. But Thane doesn't stay down, and is on his feet again in a heartbeat. But Kai Leng pulls the nonsensical movie move where he vanishes the second that the camera isn't focused on him. Come on now. Shepard and his squad were right there. They would have been able to see and shoot Kai Leng, or even see where he was going before he cloaked. My Shepard is even an infiltrator, which is the class that has cloaking themselves. He would understand a thing or two about it. Kai Leng then makes the exact mistake that Thane did before, revealing himself and negating his stealth advantage.
You are made of stupid.
This time, though, he's drawn a sword. Now, I love swords. I do. But in the Mass Effect universe, there's just way too much tech that makes killing an opponent with a sword far too difficult. There are shields or biotic barriers, tech that grants more mobility, biotics, or even just gunfire that's much more powerful than ours of today that renders even reaching your enemy extremely difficult. Leng, why aren't you using your gauntlet blaster weapon again? Thane shoots at his opponent 7 times and either misses his shots, or they do no noticeable damage. This, along with the first shot he fired, which missed when his arm was shoved aside, along with the additional 2 shots he fired at Kai Leng as he cloaked, means that he has fired 10 shots, leaving him with 2 remaining. Leng charges him in a full-on Mall Ninja Naruto run, and even has to pause to correct his terrible reverse grip on his weapon. His swing is wild and telegraphed, leading to Thane ducking beneath it and deflecting the strike. His follow-up attack is equally uncontrolled, and Thane avoids it easily. It's so telegraphed that Thane can even reposition with an unnecessary spin, which should have been a death sentence if Kai Leng was being competent here. Thane retaliates with a kick to Leng's ribs, which you'd think would have been dampened by his armor, but no. He even winces from the strike, letting us know that it hurt. Cerberus, with your infinite resources that you seem to have gained between Mass Effects 2 and 3, you would think that you would have crafted some better armor.
Optics, totally fried. And let's not even talk about the power supply. You know how expensive this gear is, son?
Tell that to the
Cerberus.
Thane then follows with a spinning heel kick to Leng's face. This reminds me of the assistant instructor in my martial arts classes. She was like a viper. Seriously, she could hit you about 3 times before you'd even registered that she had moved. Thane then sends Kai Leng sprawling onto his backside with a biotic attack, which is always cathartic to witness for me. Now, Thane has biotic abilities, yes, but he was never portrayed as being a powerhouse with them like Samara or Jack. His always seemed to simply augment his normal abilities. Not every biotic is superpowered. That said, even a low-level biotic has an advantage over someone without, and this moment serves to showcase why. If Thane was on his A-game, Kai Leng would have been dead several times over by now. Here, see what Thane could do a little over 6 months prior to this. Keep in mind that he's still suffering from his disease even here.
And I'll pay double again if you tell me who hired you.
What?
I heard something.
Damn it. Check the other entrances.
You stay put.
When I'm finished dealing with this nuisance, you and I are going to...
Look at that. 4 opponents down, including his target, in just a few seconds. Thane retrieves his pistol and reloads, though reloading in Mass Effect was always more about ejecting the current heatsink than inserting new ammunition. Still, you would think that the animation would involve putting a new heatsink in, rather than just slapping the gun a bit.
How bad is it?
I have time. Catch him.
Shepard, what's going on up there?
Thane needs medical help fast, and I need to take care of an assassin.
He must be going after the rest of the council.
Get the word out. Udina's trying to seize power. I've got to get to the counselors.
They're being taken to a shuttle pad on the Presidium. Start driving. I'll try to raise them on the comm.
Leng then gets back to his feet with a kip up, then takes a hold of his sword again, once more in the dubious reverse grip. Seriously, mall ninja stuff like this is why nobody can take this character seriously.
I have the power of God and anime on my side!
But for some reason, Thane charges Leng, leaping over his gauntlet blast, only to be impaled on his sword. Why? Thane, you were a professional assassin for most of your life. Why would you make such an obvious blunder? Leng then flees the scene, with Shepard giving chase. Thane's still able to move a bit, and under normal circumstances in Mass Effect, he probably would have survived this wound. But his disease made it so that this was something that he couldn't recover from, even with medical attention. But he did succeed in saving the Salarian Counselor, and thus achieved his objective. But the following sequence shows one more reason why Leng is almost universally despised by Mass Effect fans. Yeah, he just whips out a shield that blocks everything out of nowhere, which he never made use of in his fight with Thane, and it exists just to spite the player. Really, he was so poorly written and designed. But that concludes this fight. What did you think? Did you have Thane to take one for the team here, or was he dead in your playthrough? If so, then either Kirahi died in his place, or the Counselor dies if both he and Thane are dead. Anyway, I would like to thank you for watching. Leave a like on this video if you're so inclined, and subscribe to see more. And may you all have a weapon in each hand.